Alright, let's go ahead and get back to some survival challenge. Where we left off, we have been making some pretty decent money. We've got our field plowed over here. We're making some pretty good pretty good movement forward on our cash, though we could certainly do better. We're not going to go ahead and drag this out any more than we need to. We have a need for money. How are we doing on here, actually? Okay, it's not full. I just need to check to see if I needed to move those pallets now. The good news, are getting pretty close to time to sell the pallets of produce. I believe that is February, if I remember correctly. We can check that real fast. That's not where I check this. But tomatoes. Well, actually, no, interesting. So it's the end of February. End of February, beginning of March is where they're absolutely at their bit. I guess it changes per map. That's one of the things I never bothered to look at before. Um, is just that the prices change per map. Okay. So yeah, end of February, beginning of March. For those who are wondering how that works, if you look at this, that line marks the end of the day, and that's the beginning of the day. So if I were to go ahead where we're at right now, we're probably somewhere around in this area, because it didn't wake up at midnight. So that is partially with the day. So this wouldn't even be a bad month for me to sell, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. When you get a whole lot of money just waiting, you might as well get as much as you can out of the product you got. That doesn't even remotely match with the comment around beggars can't be choosers, but that's fine. So the big problem we have right now is I am down to my last handful of trees here. And once we got that going on, I thought I did I check? Did I check? Oh yeah, we did check. Yeah, so unfortunately there's nothing there in the used stuff that is any good. Which you can buy in the used stuff is not against the rules. I can't lease and I can't loan, but used is fine. Because the consequence of the used stuff is pretty much that, sure, I can get the used stuff, I can get on the cheap, but the problem is if I get on the cheap, it ends up being something I gotta repair more frequently at a higher price, and it's not gonna get any better. That is a very ominous sky. But yeah, so what we've got going on here is we're just going to try and load this up as much as possible. I know we did a lot of fast forwarding in the last few episodes. We are getting pretty close to the point that as far as like bulk fast forwarding because of trees is going to be going away soon, so you can all collectively celebrate that. That is something I was trying to actually avoid in this run, but I don't think it's really going to be an avoidable thing. With the nature of how we went, we've got that. In hindsight, I probably should have gotten the second greenhouse. It wouldn't quite have paid for itself by now, but it would have been far. I could still get it. It still would be a bad move. Like, the earlier I get it, the more money it's going to make us. It's just going to cost us 10,000 to begin with. I probably should get it. Because I have a strong feeling we're not going to have enough money when we're all done with this to really do anything too exciting, unfortunately. I'll be able to get something else going. But again, if I start the greenhouse now, it's gonna set us back a bit for this year. But if I can get enough in there to begin with, that will set us up much better for next year. I've also honestly debated with this of just like fast forwarding, being like, okay, the trees are dealt with. I just have that worry that it's not even a worry. It's just one of those things that'd be like unsatisfying to be like, hey, let me do something real fast. 5 hours later. And then suddenly you look at the money on the account and it's like 30,000 higher and you're like, that doesn't look like you totally cheated it. And I know, like, I would know the difference, and probably people wouldn't care that much, but I don't know, it feels weird. Besides, I don't mind this. Either way, I'm cutting down the trees where I'm subjecting you to it.
Look at me sometimes like all
maybe I can do the veggies. Very maybe. Very maybe I can get carrots or something to happen. I do think... Would you let me through? I do think we build the greenhouse either way. I should have done that a while ago. I haven't had, like, gone through... It may have gotten cut when I did all the adjustments and editing. But he made the comment that I probably should make 2 greenhouses, and I didn't want to make more greenhouses than the 2, just so, you know, it wasn't sitting down here that this strategy was like spin up like 8 greenhouses or some silly nonsense, because, you know, like if I was going to do that, I could just buy a solar panel, fast forward, buy a solar panel, fast forward, you know, and we would quote-unquote win. No, I forgot. So, I hid the sell points. Probably... Oh, we have just 1 left. 1 get bounced too far. I really don't want to go the vegetable routes. Like, it's a viable thing. I really don't want to go the vegetable route. Like, the planting is fine, but the harvesting is so not great. Alright, let's do the... we just had that drop off. Let's go ahead and do this. And how do I want to deal with this? So what I'm looking at doing is going ahead and just accepting the fact that we are going to have 2. I could certainly set it like that. And give it enough space in between so I could safely get the tractor in there. There's nowhere to fit over here. I don't really want to put it over here. And the issue of why I don't want to put it over here is I want room for a road between here, because that way we don't have, like, the AI have all sorts of difficulty. So I can put the road through here. Apparently didn't line that up too well when I did that. Alright. If you're wondering why I did that, it's something I've been waffling back and forth on. That it's like, okay, I might barely be able to make enough money for the vegetables. So we're talking parsnip, carrots, the root ones. The size of the field I have for doing those root vegetables is not going to be reasonable for harvesting. Not with the basic harvester. A big harvester would be no problem. But the little teeny tiny basic harvester is going to outright be an awful time. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do in the meantime is, I think, we go ahead and get the second greenhouse, because I had talked about getting it anyways. I should have gotten it a while back. We can get the second greenhouse. It's only going to make a little bit. It won't be until next year it actually pays itself off. But the idea being, once it pays itself off, every year I'll be making, you know, a little extra money to help get us over the hill. I'm going to artificially restrict my rules to saying I may not have 2 of the same building until I have pretty much all production lines in area, or if I run into a situation with a production line where I require more of a building to support it. So this isn't an example a bakery can actually... It's very... like, it takes quite a bit to overwhelm a bakery. Sorry, that's not the truth. The granary absolutely overwhelms the bakery. But let's just pretend for a hypothetical moment that the reality is the opposite. That I need like 4 or 5 granaries to support a bakery. In that scenario, I would be permitted to build multiple granaries to accommodate that. But only in that scenario. Alright, so let's go get our water. I'm gonna end up doing a cut, and while I do the cut, I'm just gonna turn on the stuff in the greenhouse. You go ahead and turn on the stuff in the greenhouse. Make sure we get it all configured correctly and all that. Actually, this thing is almost full. So activate, 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 and store it all. Alright, greenhouses are all filled up. So with that, let's go grab our trailer and knock down some more trees. So good news, like I said, with how much that water tank carries, I could go down there and top it off and to just be set for the next one. But it's not really necessary. We can do that in our time. But the benefit is just because of how much water that thing carries, if I top it off, I only have to deal with that maybe twice a year. And not even like a full fill up. Like go down there, get 1 or 2 loads, and that's enough for all of the, like, all, you know, 2 of the greenhouses. Saying all the greenhouses, both of the greenhouses. just all the tree stumps. Most of the time when you do these tiles, there's just not that many very visible tree stumps because they like have a bunch of the scraggly bushes and everything there. So you don't really see the aftermath of knocking down a whole whole forest worth of trees. It's just a very different feel going down there and just seeing this. I'm also cutting them a bit higher so they're easier to see, which is also a good benefit. We don't want to take the temptation of dragging the whole tree back. I don't remember if I did that in the videos on this one. I have done that before. And you don't get, like, you don't get nearly as much as you would, but it's not really that bad either. It depends. I've had some trees in these runs that have not debranched them or done anything and just went with it and got like only maybe 10% of what I should have got. Like, it's like really awful. That's probably an exaggeration. I don't remember the exact amounts, but I remember I got it. It's like, oh my god, that's so terrible. And I've had other times that I put a tree up there and it's like, you know, it was very clearly I lost some money, but it was like 20% or so. It's like, okay, you know, that's not nothing. If it saves you a lot of time, maybe that's fine. But also, I kind of want the 20%, especially when it's a couple thousand this early in the game. Like, later on, we won't care about that. Yeah, this forest is going down fast. So the unfortunate reality of that is that's not going to last much longer. We only got 2 more tall pines, maybe 3? 3 more tall pines. And a whole bunch of medium-sized spruce and some pines, and then it's done. So I think it was the right decision to get that greenhouse. I should have gotten it earlier. We could sell the produce, and that might give me enough in time for doing the root crop. Oh man, that's gonna be so tough. Because so it's not only the fact that it harvests slow. So like to clarify what's going on for those who haven't seen the various different types of crops, how you harvest them and all that. So you've got like the big crops like the canola, the wheat, barley, sorghum, all that. You get the big giant harvester, you put the header on it and you chop it down. And it fills the harvester and you dump it onto a trailer and the trailer drives and drops it off and sells it. That's normally how you do. You can take the the harvester itself between there, but it's not that big a deal. But you know, it holds a decent amount. It holds, tens of thousands of liters of crop. Now, with the carrots and parsnip and beetroot, all those, the unfortunate reality of how that works is you get the harvester, you spend like $200, like after you got the harvest, you spend like $200 to get a crate. And there's a crate on there. And I want to say the crate holds something like 500 or 1,000 liters per crate. And then you have to like ditch the crate and get a new crate. And so you've got all these crates laying around at 5 to 1,000 liters each. It's somewhere there. I guess it's 1,000. But you got those crates laying around. And then you got to go back around after you've harvested all this at 0.8 meters a pass. After all that, and you have to turn around with that whole mess and grab a forklift and pick up your literal hundreds of pallets, probably not hundreds, but like 50, 60, 70 pallets or whatever you get of that, load that up, and then drive that to drop off and sell. It is a lot. But in our current situation, them's the breaks.
At 29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you.
We also will be decorating from time to time, as far as like putting down pavement, roads, street lights, whatnot. That is going to be once our finances stabilize, though. Because right now, if I went to line that side of the road into street lights, we're going to burn all $36,000 on that and not have a means of making any kind of income. So that'll be a pain point. Yeah, I'm about to punch through the other side here.
Too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you, I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure. But one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be One day I'll be yours. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too
A solid $7,000 sale. That'll get us pretty far. Still looking like it's gonna be a little rough for getting the amount of money we've been looking for, but that's okay. Every little bit we get closer is that much more I don't have to worry about. I'm thinking we are gonna have to do the veggies. Like, I'm coming to accept that we're probably going to be doing the veggies. I don't like it, I don't want it, but that is what it is. Alright, well, it looks like we got ourselves a good solid 53,000 so far. You can see over on the left that that forest is getting pretty scarce at this point. We've got probably 2-3 more pickups, and then it is done. So unfortunately, it does mean we're probably going to be sitting around $60,000 from that. We might make like another 8 or so thousand from the greenhouse. I don't think it's realistic that I plant crop there and I'm able to afford the harvester on the other side. Because I believe the cheapest planter, like the cheapest seeders, I want to say like $20,000, which would drop us down to like 30. We add the extra 8 or whatever. Well, we'll just pretend we're gonna get an extra 20 or whatever. We'll overestimate here, but we get the extra like 20, 30,000. So we're at 80. We drop 20. We can actually check the price. Why am I saying we'll do this and that? Like we go to the cedars. Where are you, cedar? There you are. Like the cheap. Oh, I'm off. It's 30,000. So we go 30,000. That leaves us at 23. Let's say we got 8 more thousand worth of tree. Well, actually, we might have 10,000 worth of tree. So that would leave us at 33,000. 8 more thousand, let's pretend, from the greenhouse. That puts up to 40,000. And I would somehow need to come up with another, $60,000 for the harvest. So that's definitely out. So it does look like, unfortunately, the route I'm probably going to have to go is to get the cedar for 12,000. And assuming I can get enough for the 40,000 here, because it's about 60,000 between the two of them. So that should be enough to be the whole thing here. So it should be enough, but it's gonna be tricky. So we don't have any surplus there sitting around, but this is full. We just set this up. There's no refilled there. But yeah, I don't. It's gonna have to be the vegetables. I'm not happy, but it's gonna have to be the vegetables. Anyways, with all that said, thank you so much for tuning in. I do hope to see you in the next one. And don't forget, if you don't sit there and hit that subscribe button, it's not gonna let you know what's gonna come. So don't forget to do that. Anyways, I hope to see you the next time. And goodbye.